Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another live video that I am doing. This isn't going to be a Teaching to Jesus um, series. This is just a live video that I wanted to talk about the frequency battle that we are experiencing. And I think this is going to be a really important message for a lot of us. There is some extremely wonky, freaky energies um, that are amping up on the planet. And the purpose of this video is to describe what's happening so that you can become more aware of the pull, the shift, um, the what's happening with you. Because I don't think that we quite understand what's going on energetically and how it is making us feel and what it's actually doing to us. And so I want to peel apart what what this frequency battle is doing right now for us, not even for us, what this frequency battle is doing to us. Um, I've been noticing an uptake on my own battle with frequencies right now. I've been battling energies in a way that I haven't in the past. I would say the last 4 months, it's really increased. Um, it's like I am fighting for my soul. I'm fighting for truth. I'm fighting for authenticity. I'm fighting for who I am. I'm fighting for my own confidence, my own sovereignty, my own courage. It's a very strange feeling to feel as if I'm fighting for it. This is not about doing shadow work. This is not about healing. This is not about rewiring the brain. This is a frequency war. And I'm going to try my best to describe it so that you can understand perhaps what may be happening in your own inner world that you think is you, or you think you need to fix it or heal it or change it, or something's wrong with you and you need to go find someone to help you with it. This is frequency. This is frequency. So here let me dive into this. Um so for thousands of years, let's just kind of go back a little bit in history for a moment. For thousands of years, there has been an energetic battle on this planet. And obviously, it's energetic because we are energetic. Everything is energetic. The mind is energetic. Thoughts are energetic. Emotion is energetic. It's all energetic. So if you wanted to control a population, you would control it energetically. And what has been happening for thousands of years is there has been a pull separating us from God and God's light, God's frequency, which is the organic timeline, and pulling us into the inorganic or the inverted timeline. And so this is us believing that there's something wrong with us, that we have to heal and fix, and that we have all of these limiting beliefs and traumas. And although the way we've been living for thousands of years is not natural, nothing natural about it. It's completely inorganic. But there's been this pull. All right. So that's been happening on the planet with frequency. Frequency has been doing that. Energy has been doing that. They have been infiltrating our minds with energies, frequencies, parasites, which is energy, convincing us of how to be, how to live, how to move through the world, what to believe in and what not to believe in. This whole thing, obviously, we know this is a stage, it's an illusion. Okay, so what's happening currently on the planet? So that's the foundation of what we've been living in for thousands of years. You were born into this. We all were born into this illusion that is based on hybrid type beings that have infiltrated energetically our minds and created this entire reality. The systems we live in, the banking system, the governmental systems, all of it. This is extremely important for us to continue to talk about because we forget and then we go back out into the illusion and we think the illusion is real. So here we are in 2026. And what we are starting to feel is this very intense energetic pull, frequency battle. God is pulling us in one direction, if you're lucky. And the inverted matrix, the illusion, the lies, uh, the inauthenticity, the greed, the pride, the gluttony, that stuff is pulling us. The infiltrated parasitic thoughts are increasing. Distortion is increasing. Confusion is increasing. Feeling like everything is fake is increasing, right? So it's all increasing because it's trying to keep pulling humanity away from the light of God. Okay. So here's this pull. And so currently, right now, what I have been literally battling in my own inner world is this pull. So when I am feeling a lot, so the light of God is coming down onto the planet in a way that it hasn't in thousands of years, because the frequency on the planet has increased. And we are calling this light back in. We're like, God, God, God. We're starting to recognize we've been deprived of God because we have. So this light is starting to come down. It's coming into human bodies. It's coming into cities. There's more prayer than ever before, right? There's just a lot of God frequency, God consciousness. Now, this group over here, these energies, these parasitic demonic energies, these systems that have been literally eating, living off your life force, they don't want us to start to turn towards God, turn towards truth, turn towards purity, turn towards simplicity, turn away from greed, turn away from pride, turn away from artificial, turn away from inorganic. They don't want us to do that. And so they're pulling us more into that, right? We're starting to see this. The more that I am moving towards God, the more that I am choosing God, no matter what it costs me, the more it feels right and the more I feel like me, a true, honest, authentic, real me. And the more that I'm feeling that, the more I am feeling these attacks, these energies. It's not even an attack necessarily, it's energies, it's confusion. It's it's like my mind starts to get all weird. Like one minute I'm super confident and I know what I'm doing and who I am. And literally 5 hours later, I'm like, wait, do I? Am I? How do I know? What if I'm not? That's not normal. There's nothing normal about what's happening right now on the planet. And if you're starting to become aware of it, you're going to start noticing this isn't normal. The way we are behaving isn't normal. The tug of war that we're doing consciously or unconsciously isn't normal. The amount of confusion that we have on the planet is not normal. The amount of distortion, the amount of like, is this real? Is that real? What about this? What about that? The fact that we can't sit still isn't normal. The amount of anxiety on the planet isn't normal. The fact that there's all of a sudden this nervous system regulation isn't normal. Like they have normalized what is so inorganic and not normal that we're not even really fighting for our normalcy. We're so exhausted, we don't want to fight for it. We're just like, I'm just going to go watch, Netflix. I don't care. It's too much. I'm just going to shut down. It's too much. I'm going to shut down. It's too much. That's frequency battle. The frequency is numbing us. The frequency is quieting us. Meaning like quieting us from standing up and saying, "No, no, I'm going to fight for my soul. I'm going to fight for God. I'm going to fight for my truth. I'm going to fight for my sovereignty. I'm going to fight for this." And so what I've been noticing, and I really noticed it today, and I was like scientifically, energetically, the scientist, like, I'm gonna pinpoint this. Like, what is this? Because this is I gotta figure this piece out. And what I noticed was a lack of self. Like, wait, who am I? Like, what? Where'd that come? What why am I feeling that again? What is this? And then it was like, "Well, what were you doing today, Lori?" Right? So I started looking at what I was doing and the different things I was doing and noticing that I've done those things before, and those things have caused this feeling of, "Hmm, lack of self." That's the only way I can describe it, like a wobble, a slight sense of depression or like life has been taken out of me, like the balloon has been, burst. I can't explain it. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's the best I can do. And I think there are millions of people that are feeling this. They're just not aware of it if you're moving towards God. Now, if you're continuing to buy into everything they're feeding us, if you're continuing to just keep scrolling and numbing and watching all the different things and getting lost in all the different things and not being in silence, not sitting quiet, not being with God, continuing to like, you know, try to satiate your the void within us with more of something, more entertainment, parties, more money, more fame, more success, more whatever it is, you're not going to feel this because you're in the frequencies that are going to try to pull you if you're not in them. So if you're pulling yourself out of those frequencies, you're going to start feeling the frequencies pulling you back. If you're in the frequencies that have been running this planet for a while, you're not going to feel them. You're going to be like, "What are you talking about? Everything seems fine." Everything's not fine. There's nothing fine about what's happening on the planet. Nothing. It's exciting. It's crazy. It's like, "Holy cow, what the freak?" It's not fine though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So if you're in that world and there's millions of people that are in the inorganic, that are buying into all of it, um, that are lost in it, which is okay. They won't be lost, but they're lost right now in it. They're not gonna have any idea what I'm talking about. Um, but they will eventually. Humanity is going to wake up out of the illusion. That's what this evolution is all about. As God's light starts coming back down into us, and this is not solar flares, this is not the sunlight, the frequency from the sun, it is not solar flares. This is God's light. God's light's creating this. This is a battle between God and the inorganic. It's a battle between us coming back into our natural state of being and us continuing to live in the unnatural state of being. That's what's happening. Prior to this moment that's happening, yes, the solar flares were increasing the frequency of our bodies so that we could increase the frequency on the planet. What is happening right now is very different, very different. And that's why we're going to feel this tug of war. We are moving back into our organic, authentic state of being, our natural state of being, and it is a fight. It is a frequency fight. It is a frequency battle. Mark my words. And I'm not just saying this to like bring us down. I'm saying this because we have to fight for this. You have to fight for your authenticity, for your organic state, for God. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself in your life throughout your days, and you're going to start feeling these weird funky ways, and you're going to start believing the funkiness. You're going to start believing something's wrong with you. You're going to start saying, well, maybe this isn't the right way. Maybe I should be going and doing it like this or that. Or you're going to be so depressed because you're watching all of the like inauthentic stuff that's happening. You're like, this doesn't resonate anymore. What in the heck is going on? But I have no idea what I'm doing and where I'm going. And the second I start to feel aligned, the second I start to feel God with me, boom, I get the wobble. I get knocked off course. That's the frequency battle. That's if we could literally sort of like vacuum out the frequencies right now that are inundating us, and we could just stand in this natural environment without all these frequencies, you would be like, oh my God, wait a second. This is how I'm supposed to be feeling. They have done this to such a slow drip. They've done it so slowly, we don't even realize how drastically different we are living. We don't even realize it because it has happened so slowly. And it's like the frog boiling in the water. It has no idea it's boiling until it's too late. It has no idea. It just slowly starts to get warmer and warmer. And the frog's just chilling. It doesn't realize that it's being boiled, right? And so this kind of frequency battle, it's a battle for our light. It's a battle for God. Because the moment that we integrate God into our bodies deeply, in every ounce of our soul and our cells and our DNA and everything, they can't control us. It won't work. The 5G won't work, the 6G won't work, the 7G won't work, the poisons won't work. None of it will work. Why? Because the frequency of God is more potent and powerful than any other frequency that they're poisoning us with. Way more powerful than a solar flare. This is why the battle is increasing on the planet. Because they're not afraid of solar flares. They could care less. They're afraid of God. You know what they care about? God. You know what they don't want you to do? Go to God, find God, integrate God, bring God in. You know what's happening on the planet? People are starting to bring God back in a way they never have before. However they end up doing it, right? There's all these different paths. God bless everybody trying to do their path of God, okay? But the more that we focus on God and not on this inorganic path, the louder the inorganic path is going to get. And that's why this is so different than kind of normal ascension stuff we're used to, or solar flares, or all of that. This is very, very different, and we need to take it seriously. We got to we got to look at this in a new lens, because you're if you keep choosing God, if you keep integrating God, if you keep bringing God back in, you're going to feel this. You're going to feel the wobble. You're going to feel the confusion on a level you never have before. you're going to you're going to be tested. You're you're going to you're going to let go of so many things that just cannot be in your life anymore because of the way that it opens you up into that inorganic path. Um, it is a trippy, trippy time. It is trippy to realize that this entire season that we're in evolutionarily, this entire season, this entire moment humanity is in, that we've reached, that we've been able to get ourselves to, is this leveling up of a battle where it is now God versus these annoying energies and beings that have been controlling the planet and us for thousands of years. The Nephilim and the Archons. It's that simple. The reptilians and the other higher dimensional beings, they don't have anything on the energetic battle that's happening in our minds. Nothing. A reptilian just comes into the body, shape shifts into the body, and just takes over the human. So what? They're not actually using energetic parasitic thought forms to control this planet. It's not the reptilians we need to be worried about. It's the bloodlines of the Nephilim that are controlling this planet, that are infiltrating our minds through parasitic thoughts that we think are normal and we think are ours. And they run these systems. So what do, right? What's the solution? You have to start recognizing your thoughts in a way that you never have before. You need to start examining every single freaking thought you have. And you need to start asking yourself, is this God or is this infiltration? What story has the world told me about this thought? It's that simple. Truly that simple. If the thought is not aligned with God, the thought is infiltration. But Lori, these thoughts make sense because it's about the trauma, or it's about this, or it's about this is happening because of this. That's all infiltration. Every way that we've been living from the moment you opened your eyes as a little baby is infiltration. It's not organic. It's not the way we've been designed to live on this planet. It's been taken over. And so every single thought that you think is normal, every single behavior that you think is normal, every way that we've been doing it, we have to break out of. We have to question it. And when you question your thoughts, right? When you question um, what you're thinking, when you look at your behaviors, the next thing you want to do, outside of asking, is this aligned with God? And if the answer is no, this isn't aligned with God, obviously. Okay. So then what is it? What is my what do I think next? Okay, how do I fix it, right? What do I do? How do I get rid of it? What do I believe about myself? What is the path that those thoughts take you down? Start to get real curious. What's the path that these thoughts are starting to take me down? And is this path moving towards God? Or is this path moving towards something else fixing, something else answering the question, something else to satiate me? Start paying attention to what direction you're going down, what direction your desires are going down. Like, where's our lens throughout the day, right? So let's say, for instance, you're really struggling with finances, okay? And you cannot pay all your bills every month. You are in a deficit and you are freaked out and you are stressed and you are in this angst. That's very real. That's very real right now on this planet, unfortunately, because the systems are full of greed. So here's how you want to look at this, right? You've got these thoughts coming in. They are infiltrated. The thoughts telling you that you're not going to be able to make it. You're going to lose your house. Those are all infiltrated thoughts. You're going to say, no, Lori, those make sense. Yeah, they make sense based on the system that we've been told to buy into. Okay. So yes, it makes sense based on the system that we're told to buy into. Now, what I want to ask you is, how would God see your situation? How would God see that thought? How would God see your inability to pay bills? How would God be in it? What would God say if God was a person sitting at the dinner table with you? When we start to bring God into the unconscious, programmed, infiltrated, robotic way of being, you're going to notice something. You know what God's going to say to the person that can't pay the bills? I've got you. And you're gonna be like, "What the heck does that mean? You've got me. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of you. I will get you what you need." That doesn't make any sense. I have to be worried. I have to pay the bills. I have to put my kids in school, like, because that's the inorganic way of living. We're designed to live in that suffering, freaked out, worried state. Makes perfect sense. There's nothing wrong. It's not a wrong way of feeling, in the sense that it's a natural way of being, because we've been disconnected from God. There's an aspect of God, if you're this person, right? There's an aspect of God in you, but it's not working correctly. Because if it was working correctly, you wouldn't have that fear. None of us would be living the way we are living if we were connected completely with the God in us. It's impossible. God doesn't live this way at all. When God turns on inside of us and it starts running through us, if you are in poverty, if you are like, I cannot pay my freaking bills, which is literally more than half the 90% of the planet is in this some state of like, you know, survival. If they start to bring, if we start to say, "Well, is this a thought like that God would have? Like, how would God see this? What would God tell me if God was a person?" Bring God in. Because the more that we can start bringing God in, the less this infiltrated, horrific, annoying timeline that we've been forced to live, that's not ours, it's not natural, it will quiet. The more that you start to say, I wonder how it would be with this light of God in more and more. And you're going to say, well, I can't trust it. I don't even know what it is. Again, this is how you know that the world is not truly living in their God states yet, because we don't know how to even let it in. We don't even know how to trust it. We don't even know how to like follow it because it's so scary, because we have been so programmed. We have been deeply programmed to not live in our godlike states. We don't even know how. Because if you're living in this place where you could barely pay your bills, when God starts coming into your body, you're going to feel like you are okay. You're going to know in some weird, natural way that you're going to be okay, and you're going to believe it. You're going to somehow know that you're going to keep doing what you need to do to make money, but there is a calmness you're going to have. There's just a weird feeling. It's not even weird, it's our natural state. But it's weird because we don't normally feel this. But when God starts coming in, God pushes out that uh, infiltrated, distorted, parasitic way of being. And so, yeah, you still have to pay the bills. Yeah, you have a little bit of fear of like, how am I going to pay the bills? But there is this overarching new way of being with God taking over, God moving in, where you're like, huh, like, um, you're like, huh, somehow I feel like I'm going to be okay. Somehow I know that I'm going to be okay. I know that God has me. And everyone else is like, what the heck does that even mean? God has you. What are you going to do? Just sit back? You're like, no, I'm going to keep working and looking for a job and being responsible with my money, but I don't have that same distorted, infiltrated experience. That distorted, infiltrated experience is how they control us. If you have fear, if you have stress, if you have worry, you will keep looking out for the answers. They will just keep feeding you what's next. They'll keep feeding you the iPhones. They'll keep feeding you the nasty foods. They'll keep feeding you the search for more money and give me this and give me that and I'll give you this and I'll give you that. It's this push and pull that keeps us in this loop that never actually fulfills what God fulfills, which is that safety. So you're continuing to search out for that safety. It's not our fault. It's not our fault at all. But this is the game we're now stepping into. It's a very different game because of the awareness that we are now holding around God and what it means and how powerful and potent it actually is and what it will do for our entire lives. And, uh, you know, it's just a fascinating time to realize this is what's happening. I mean, I just had no idea. I really had no idea that it was going to be a battle for the light of God, a battle for God, which means a battle for our God selves. We are fighting we are fighting to get back to our natural state that we were at millions of years ago in the fifth dimensional state. So the 5D humans, everyone's talking about 5D, 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 5D. I'm going to 5D. I'm going to the new earth. But they're not actually experiencing this battle because they aren't actually bringing in the light of God. It's not about moving your frequency. It's not about you doing any of it. It's so much bigger than that, and yet so much simpler. This piece of us moving back into our natural state where we were millions of years ago, dare I say where we were 7,500 years ago before the spiritual battle came. Us getting back there is us pulling ourselves out of the inverted matrix. It's pulling us out of the infiltrated parasitic thoughts. It's pulling us out of every single way that we live right now. Not because we raise our vibration, not because we change our thoughts, but because we bring in the light of God. It's God's light that changes us. It's God's light that raises the vibration in our body. It's God's light that gets rid of and heals us. It's God's light that pulls us from that inverted space, from the parasitic thoughts, from the addictive behaviors, all of it's God's light that does this. You start bringing in God's light and God literally pulls you out. You bring in the light of God and God's light will start pulling you out. It will start to literally dismantle the nonsense. You can't dismantle the nonsense because we're so deeply ingrained in it. We are inundated with it. We don't even realize we're inundated with it. We are just going about our days and we're feeling all these funky things and we're aware of like all the different conspiracies and the aliens and the UFOs and the government doing this and oh my God, disclosure this. None of that matters. That's all distraction. None of that matters. None of that is actually going to get us closer to God. The actual shift, the actual evolutionary frequency shift that's happening beyond all of that noise out there that we would consider waking up is the embodiment of God's light. Bringing it in all day, every day. As simple as that. That God says, nope, that's not you. Nope, that's not you. Nope, that's not you. Nope, that's not you. And then as you do that, the frequencies are like, yes, it is. Come back over. Yes, it is. Come back over. Who do you think you are? That's, don't believe that. Why are they distort your mind? You're like, what in the freak is going on? They distort your mind quietly. You're just watching a YouTube, or maybe you're doing some work online, or maybe you're watching something on Instagram or TikTok or something. And then an hour later, you're like, I feel kind of funky. And then all of a sudden you have these weird thoughts like, I don't think I'm going to apply for that job. Or you have this thought of like, you know what? I'm not going to go on that date. Or you have this thought of like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to cancel my plans tomorrow. Like you don't even realize what's happening. That's how freaky it is. We just think it's normal. We don't realize that the everyday things we're doing online, at work, it all has the potential to pull us out of that alignment with God. And when you're in that alignment with God, thank God for God's light. Thank God for that holy light, because when you start feeling it, you're like, oh my God, this is me. This is truth. You're empowered. You feel so good. You feel aligned with yourself. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You just want to keep embodying this. You want to keep drinking this. You want to keep, this is your natural state, and so and you know that you didn't do it. It's the greatest gift. You didn't sit in lotus position for an hour in order to do this. God does it. That's the design. That's the way it's designed to be. You don't pump your heart and make your heart pump. You don't work your lungs. You don't become God. God comes in and shows you who you are. Your heart pumps and shows you how you live, right? How you stay alive. Your lungs do what they do and they show you how to breathe. You don't figure out, "Oh, I'm going to breathe now. Oh, I'm going to let my heart pump now." You can't become God. You can't become God-like. You can't do it. You're not designed to do it. You let it in and you let God do it. You let that light do it. You let that holy light, that spirit of God come in again. Over and over and over and over. You start watching all these things change in your life. So here's the message before I get going. Question your thoughts, all of them. Keep questioning your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this moving me towards God or away from God? Is this bringing me closer to God or further away from God? God being this holy light that is coming in, this holy presence that is your natural state, this home base. Am I walking to home base, or am I walking out to the outfield? Am I going out to center field because it's enticing out there? Am I trying and I'm believing all the different thoughts that the world's telling me? Or am I coming to home base, slowly wrapping around the bases? Pay attention to, gosh, man, so pay attention to thoughts. I just went on a tangent. Pay attention to your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this moving me to God? How would God be here? If God was sitting at the breakfast table, the lunch table, the dinner table, how would God see all this or feel all this or be all this or be all this? You can say, I am God, but what I'm going to tell you is whether you want to believe this or not, you're in too much of an infiltrated frequency space right now to understand what that means. You need the help of God's light over and over and over. You need God's light to come in. You need God's light to keep moving tangibly through you. And when that happens, you'll feel this, right? Many of you already are. Many of you, many people on the planet are feeling this more and more. They're getting it. Like, oh my God, what the heck? And when you are moving towards that, you start recognizing thoughts more. You start questioning those thoughts more, questioning the path that the thoughts taking you down, questioning the idea of healing myself, all the money that I'm spending on fixing myself, all the different devices. Like, really think about this. It's not easy integrating God and being with God and living as God like as you can. And it's not easy doing this, but you're going to do it because you don't have a choice. You're going to start noticing more and more the world is just not right. Like, not right. And then you're going to be craving what is right, meaning authentic, real, honest. You're going to want that more and more because of how the world is moving into a real distorted numbing. I don't know how we're going to get through this, but I know that we do. And I know that it's going to speed up. And I know that it comes down to God or the infiltration, God or everything else. And the everything else is going to continue to create some sort of sense of suffering in our lives. And God takes away all suffering. The light of God takes away all suffering, slowly or quickly, but it takes away all suffering. And it's not overnight that this is going to happen. Like I was saying, I mean, the reason I'm even doing this video is because I was sitting here today going, "What is this that just happened to me?" It is so not normal. Nothing normal about this, and I refuse to continue to just be like, "Huh, this is weird energy I'm feeling today." No, 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 I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing the whole energy updates. No, this is a battle that we now need to look at with a different lens. Like, "Oh, the energies feel so wild today." Those energies are continuing to pull me from the light of God. I'm not doing that game anymore. Uh-uh. Nope. Not playing the game of energies. How do they feel? Oh my God, the energies are this, the energies are no, 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 no. I'm done. Personally, I'm done. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna fight for God. I'm gonna fight for my truth. I'm gonna fight for alignment. I'm gonna fight for my sovereignty. I'm gonna fight. And how does that look? How does that fight look? It means I'm gonna be so darn freaking conscious of what's trying to pull me. It means I'm gonna get quieter. It means I'm gonna shut off my dang phone. It means I'm gonna try to go out into nature where there is no internet and Wi-Fi as much as I possibly freaking can. It means that I'm gonna commit to God 30,000 times over. It means I'm gonna keep my eyes on God. It means I'm gonna ask Jesus for help every single freaking day. I refuse to fall prey to the nonsense that's controlled this planet and us for this many years, thousands. I'm not doing it. Not happening. And the more that I can do this, the more that I can speak it. And the more that I can speak it, the more that I do this, the more that I see it. And the more that I see it, the more I can teach it. And the more I can teach it, the more others will see it. And others will walk out. And others will fight for God. And others will stand in their sovereignty. And others will be saved from that nonsense that we've been living in. The whole world is gonna slowly trickle out of this absolute inverted world that we've been in. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm definitely on a rant right now, right? But, it's a beautiful life out there. Life is beautiful. The world is incredible. It's magnificent. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, like, I'm fighting for God. I'm done. I am so done with being like, "God, I just feel so weird today." I'm not doing it anymore. The energies just feel off today. No, 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 no. I'm not just not. I am fighting for this. And I'm sure there's people that are like, you don't need to fight for something, just flow with it. No, 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 no. We are at a different warped speed capacity of frequency nonsense right now. Like, you can live in flow. I live in flow every day. I'm constantly flowing through my life, but I am not gonna flow to the capacity where the next thing I know, I am literally no longer, like, close to the light of God. Like, I am in the illusion that I am, but I'm, like, pulled into some weird space that's like, "What is this? What am I doing here?" I'm too afraid of that. I think I'm so afraid of being pulled into that now that I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. And I think the more that humanity actually feels the tangible presence of God in them, they will fight for it. I don't think people, I don't think, I think a lot of us have felt it, but I think a majority of us haven't actually really felt the tangibility of that light. And so when you start feeling the tangibility of that light in your body, you will fight for it. You will fight for it. You will say, "Oh, I'm going that direction. I want more of that." It's like a drug, an IV of God in you. You're like, "Okay, I need more of that. I want more of that." And then naturally you're like, "Why would I no." And then you start looking at the world, you're like, "Why are people talking about that? Why are they arguing about that?" Like all these things just start to kind of You just sort of start realizing what really matters. Anyway, that's my spiel, you guys. Oh, here's the here. Sorry. The two things you want to do. One, um, you want to start recognizing your thoughts, and you want to ask, like, where is God in this? How is this moving me towards God, right? And then you want to really commit. If you really want to like break out of this, and you've done everything that like you've done it all before, and there's not really much of a change. Um, Invite the holy light in over and over and over. Invite the holy light in and get real about it. Get serious about it. Invite the holy light into your body over and over and over. It's not just a one-time thing or a one-day thing or a 5-day thing or a 2-week thing. It is a constant everyday commitment of like bringing that light in. And then, of course, go to Jesus every day. Jesus, walk me through this. Jesus, bring the holy light into me. Jesus, walk the holy light into me. Bring it in. Bring it in, Jesus. Bring it in. Bring in the light. Bring in the Holy Spirit. Pull me from this nonsense. All those debilitating thoughts you have, Jesus, pull me out of this. All the addictions you have, Jesus, pull me out of this. All the depression and anxiety you have, Jesus, pull me out of this. That's what he's here for. I mean, he'll do it. He will 1,000,000,000%, 1,000,000,000,000% do it. Um, he'll walk you right into God. He'll walk you right out of that distortion. Well, no, maybe not right out. Maybe there's going to be the battle back and forth. You know, the bully's going to try to pull you back with your collar. Come back. What are you doing? You can't go that way. What are you thinking? You're not smart enough. You don't know what you're doing. No, you can't do that. You're not good enough. Nope, not you. Everyone else, but not you. Who do you think you are? No, 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 no. It's like a real abusive partner that just beats you down. That's the inverted matrix. It lifts you up, but then as soon as you decide that you're going to go off on your own, it pulls you back and beats you down and says, you can't go anywhere. Right. And then it just builds you up. It's like, but you're so great. Look at all these things you could have out here. You could be happy with all this money. Don't you want more money? Don't you want to be a 6-figure earner and a 7-figure whatever it is? Don't you want all that? You're like, no, I want God. You're like, who do you think you are? You're not going to have that. That's not happening. You don't even know what you're talking about, right? Boom, you get kicked back. To this real funky abusive relationship. The inverted matrix creates this abusive relationship. It builds you up and tears you down the second you want to leave it. That's the frequency battle. So choose God. Choose God. Choose God. We were manipulated to believe that we had to struggle to be what we already are, free. 1,000,000,000,000,000,000%. Yes, ma'am. When you start we should be angry, like Jesus flipping tables in front of the Pharisees, right? Like we should be like no way. No way. Uh-uh. We should be talking about this and arguing about like this should be like a conversation that we need to be having 24/7. Like just like we did in COVID, right? Where it was like, no way. You're not getting my body. You are not getting my body. And now it is, you are not getting my soul. Nope. I'm choosing God. I'm choosing God. It's the same feeling for me. It's the same fight. It's the same fight in me. It really is. It feels exactly the same. I'm like, oh, I'm back in COVID times where I'm going to fight and I'm not going to stop because what I'm fighting is way, way bigger than COVID. This is We're fighting for the planet. We're fighting for our consciousness. We're fighting for our light. We're fighting for God back in us. We're fighting for God to come back into us. Yes, we have an aspect of God. Yes, we are God inside, but it's been real manipulated because we're not living God-like. So if God was alive in us, we'd be living very differently. Think about this in terms of frequency, okay? Just frequency. Like, let's talk about physics. How high of a frequency do you think God is? Think about the frequency that God's light holds. Okay. Now imagine that frequency, a tiny piece of it in your body. Do you really think that all of this distortion and 5G, 6G, do you really think that all of that would be able to distort that energy? If it was working, if it was on, if it was moving through your body, if you were living it? Of course not. Just based on energy and physics alone, it's impossible. Higher frequency light like higher frequency light will override other lower frequency lights. Lower frequency lights will dissolve in the higher frequencies. That's why when you have lower frequencies and you shine the light on it, it has an opportunity to dissolve into the light. So if you have an aspect of God in you, which we all do, and if it was actually like actively moving and awake and doing its thing, it would be so potent that there would be no behaviors that we would be doing. There would be none of the thoughts that we're thinking. There would be none of the rage and anger, and that couldn't exist as a frequency in our bodies. It wouldn't be able to exist. That's why when the holy light comes back into your body, those things start to dissolve. That's why I think I don't cuss anymore. That's why I have different thoughts. That's why like so much of my life has changed. I'm just now realizing because when that light comes in, the frequency is so much more potent than all of the distorted energies that it slowly pushes it out. It slowly pushes those energies out. So we're fighting for that. We're fighting for our light to come back on. And the crazy thing is that we are being tempted by more money, more followers, more likes, more influence, more success, more whatever it is, a bigger this. I don't even know what yours is out there, right? But we all have it. We all have things and they entice us. They dangle the carrots. They keep us out there. Oh, you should really be concerned about disclosure. Oh, you should really be concerned about the government. Oh, you should really be concerned about the oil crisis. Oh, you should really be concerned. And yeah, like on one level, we should be learning and understanding what's happening on the planet, but not at the deficit of God. Like fighting for our light should be most important. And then everything else is like, "Oh my god, that's horrible. I'm going to fight for that too. And I'm going to help those children that are being abused, and I'm going to help those animals and I'm going to go and be of service on the planet. But this has to be first." So there's this juggling act that we need to start doing. But the light of God moving back in order to ignite, activate, bring your light back up into force, into a life force. That's why they call Jesus the way or the life, the truth, the way, and the life, because it gives you your life back. When they say you're reborn, it's because, now I'm not going to get into the religious piece because I don't think that's fully aware of what's happening either. I think they're missing a big chunk of what's happening here, but we're all missing chunks of what's happening. But Jesus will take you out of that false life and he'll take you the way to life, truth. Boom. And everything else All of us trying to do it ourselves is just part of the inverted matrix. They keep doing that. Keep doing it. They don't care. It doesn't start to get crazy in your life until you figure out what it is they're doing, which is you start finding God. And when you start finding God and really bringing God in, it can get a little wonky out there. Then you start saying, "What the but Jesus?" All right, you guys, 55 minutes. I'm leading a revolution. Man has forgotten God. That's why all this has happened. Alexander Solson's, whoever that is correct. Whoever said that is 1 billion% correct. It's just that it's not even that man has forgotten. It's not man's fault. It's been erased from our memory and it's been distorted. And we've been fed all these different stories and programs. So it's not really that man's forgotten, although man has forgotten. Um, it's all just been massively distorted. Um, all right, you guys, thanks for being here. I love you. I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Lots of love to you. And bring in that light. Bring in that light. Bring in that light. Think about God more than anything else. Thank you, God. We love you so much, God. Keep coming in. Keep coming in. Come into our bodies. Come into our bodies. Come into our bodies. Activate us. Light us up. Show us the way. And question every single thought you have. And ask yourself, like, am I walking towards home base, or am I walking out into central, center field? Center field? Yeah, center field. Center field. All right, you guys. I love you. I'll see you soon. Mwah.